Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Nile, and the WNBA regular season has officially concluded. Technically it was over on Friday. The playoffs, everything got set in stone, but now the final games have officially been played, which means that it is officially playoff time. I know I said I would do it the same way I did last season, but this is a year full of change. I changed my format while covering the regular season, so I don't see anything wrong with changing the playoff format. I mean, so many things have been changing throughout the league. You've been seeing kind of a changing of the guard. Like, for one thing, you've got Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird becoming the new all-time leaders in career points and career assists. You've got Jonquel Jones setting a new record for rebounds in a single season. Courtney Vandersloot breaking the record for assist per game in a season, averaging 8. That's a high damn number. So yeah, there's been so much going on this year, so many changes, so much difference. So I feel like it's a good excuse to just throw out everything I've done before, try something new. So the first 2 rounds of the playoffs are going to be single elimination, starting with round 1 on Wednesday night, a doubleheader on ESPN2. First, the Mystics versus the Wings. Second, the Storm versus the Mercury. And with every team playing today, it's so hard to predict just because they have been so damn up and down all season long. With the Mystics and the Mercury, with the roster changes they've had, you expected some up and down, some growing pains, especially with the injury to Griner, who at that point had been having an MVP season. You've also got, the Wings and the Storm. They are 2 of the youngest teams in the league. Not necessarily an excuse, though, when you look at how well Connecticut did this year. And looking at specifically how they match up with each other, Dallas versus Washington, Dallas is one of the hardest teams to fucking predict all season long, because we've seen them beat the best teams in the league. They've beaten Minnesota, they've beaten LA, but they've also lost to the Stars. This is a team that's capable of any given night, when they play their absolute best, they can win against anyone. But there are so many times when they just find different ways to shoot themselves in the foot. And so it's hard to ever really have faith in the Wings winning the game, because it's just hard to tell which version of this Dallas team we're going to get. That being said, the way that they play, you've seen them go into overtime multiple times this season. And so this game could very well just come down to who gets the last shot off. I mean, for me personally, I feel like this game I'd have to give the edge to the Mystics. Not because I think they play better. I mean, I think both of these teams are fairly well-rounded. But with the Mystics, there's just the experience factor, and I think that gives them just a slight edge. All over the roster, you've got Mike Tibble, the most tenured coach in the league, the most winningest coach in the league. You've got Della Don. She's been in the playoffs every year of her career, including the finals once, even though technically she didn't actually play. You've got Kristen Tolliver coming off of a championship season. I mean, with Dallas, more than half of these players, this is going to be the first playoff game they've ever been in. And then you look at the Storm versus the Mercury. The Storm have definitely played much better since under Kloppenberg than they did at the beginning of the season. They still have their issues, but they're a team with a lot of weapons, capable of lighting it up. They've played a much better defense since Gary took over. And when you look at the Mercury, they've got 2 elite playmakers carrying them. 2 of the best the league has ever known in Griner and Taurasi. And if last year is any indication, playoffs come, they turn it up to another level, and they might be damn near unstoppable. But you have to consider depth to be a huge factor. The Mercury have never been known for their depth, and they've got, outside of their 2 main stars, they've got 2 or 3 decent role players that can shoulder some of that load. And I just don't I don't see any way that Taurasi and Griner are going to combine for 90 points in the game. So it comes down to, can the Mercury shut down all of the different Storm players? Because they've got so many scorers on that roster. We all know Seattle is talented. They've all been disappointingly bad, so it's easier to root against them. But honestly, now it's a coin flip, really, with both of these teams. If Seattle wins this game, they will go on to play New York, while the winner of the Dallas-Washington game will go on to play Connecticut. If the Mercury win that game, they will go on to play Connecticut, while the winner of the Dallas-Washington game goes on to play New York. So yeah, here it is at long last, playoff time, and it looks like it's going to be very exciting to watch. So don't forget, round one, single elimination games, doubleheader, ESPN2 on Wednesday night. Set your calendars to, if you work nights, take that night off. And as soon as those games are over, I will do a round one recap and round two preview. And until then, my name is Nathan Nile. This has been The Fan Perspective. Hope you have a great day.